What's up, everybody? Again, my name is Jessie Verga. I have a doctorate and a master's in business, and I have been fortunate enough to own and operate a variety of different businesses across the United States, ranging from textile industry to fitness industry, and I've also been fortunate enough to have those businesses reach 6 and 7 figures. As a venture capitalist, I've also, had the ability to and the opportunity to diversify my portfolio and help a variety of other businesses grow as well. And what I've learned in this adventure of mine is that a lot of what folks needed wasn't me, wasn't a venture capitalist, and wasn't a business advisor. What they needed was better information and access to resources, and not just friends, right? And friends are great, they can provide a lot of great information, but folks don't really realize a lot of the other resources that are out there. So what I'm doing is trying to consolidate these resources and just bring them to your attention. Let you know, like, hey, SBA.gov exists. US Census Bureau has business statistics. Things of that nature. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So I wanted to backtrack a little bit. I did post a video about SBA loans and grants, and that was to end a series that I started on TikTok. And what I want to do now is kind of start from the beginning. Step 0, I consider your idea, formulating your idea, understanding and kind of like making the determination as to what your business is going to be and who your target audience, is. Are you an apparel line? That's great. Is your apparel for babies? Is your apparel for individuals who are bedridden? Who is your target audience? And then from there, we get into step 1. Once you have your idea and a general understanding of who your target audience is, next, we're going to do market research and analysis. We're going to see who your competitors are. How much are their products selling for? Where are they getting their manufacturing from? What are some of the challenges that currently exist in the industry? And more importantly, how do you fit in that space? And then from there, we go into not necessarily step 2, but one of the next steps, which is funding your business. Now, it's really up to you and personal preference for you, how you want to decide which step comes next. Do you want to find out what your startup costs are? Or do you want to figure out how much money you're able to contribute to this business venture? I highly recommend when you start with step 0 and you have your great idea, and you figure out who you want to sell your products or services to, that you get a copy of my business plan template. Now, if you are subscribed to my newsletter, I send this template out every week. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, or you can Google it. I can't guarantee you're going to get a quality business plan that has all the required line items, but it's a place to start. From there, you're going to put your step 0, what your idea is, what your point of differentiation is, how are you going to enter that market? What makes you and your business unique? From there, you're going to go to step 1, your market research and analysis, and then now to possibly step 2, and that's determining either your startup costs or how much money you can contribute. Now, I recommend, and this is just my personal preference, that you figure out how much money you can contribute. You take that number and you write it down somewhere on your business plan. And then from there, my business plan comes with a template for example line items of startup cost considerations that expand over the course of 1 calendar year. So from January to December, what are your monthly costs going to be in your general overhead to include startup costs for that first month? Now, once you have that startup cost figured out, you can look at that little number you wrote in the top corner, and you can subtract that from the overall startup cost and decide whether or not you have enough money. From here, you can determine whether you want to, find another funding source like a loan or crowdfunding, or if you just want to wait. If you can only put away $100 a month and you need $2,000, do you wait a couple years to start your business, or do you find another means of funding your startup? And if you're already in business, you should be doing this. You should have a business plan. You should have a general idea of what your monthly overhead costs are, and then determine how much you're short and how much you yourself can fund, and from there make the determination of how you want to meet that gap and become profitable. if you've decided to fund your business yourself through your own means of income, there's a lot of benefit into that. One of which is you own the whole business, but that also means you absorbed all the risk. Now, I personally think that if you're able to fund your business yourself, that's great. Second best option will be crowdfunding, which I'll go into in the next video. But if you can fund your business yourself, that just means that you absorb all the risk. Because at the end of the day, if you get a business loan, the bank doesn't care if your business stays in business. Obviously, they want you to stay in business, but they want their money back regardless, which is why your personal finances come into play. And that leads me to my next point. If you plan on starting your business, when you do this financial survey, you have to make the determination if you want to take out a loan or not. But a part of that decision should be, what is your personal credit score? It's recommended 680 and above. And if it's not 680 and above, what do you do then? What are your options for funding your business? Now, in another video, I'm going to post how to navigate other sources of funding with a credit score less than 680. But again, these videos aren't meant to be legal advice or any advice whatsoever, just resources and things that I have done that have helped me. And the last thing I wanted to talk about and mention is that if you go to jessieverga.com, you will find all of these videos as well as additional resources to help you put together your business plan specifically, but to help you kind of structure and get an idea of what's required so you can go into starting your own business with everything that you need to know. And if you currently own a business, I also have a section for you. And this has a lot more to do with marketing and advertising and how to make your business profitable. Now, the blueprint that I have that has these intentional gaps and has these, this dynamic flow to it, it's a little more strict and not as malleable for current businesses because you're already in business and your ability to pivot is not there as much, but that doesn't mean that we can't help you. So head to my website, jessieverga.com. I'll leave a link in the description. I also want to say sign up for my newsletter. I give out the business plan template every week. There's also tons of other resources, and I kind of talk a little bit more to each of these YouTube videos, as well as provide state-specific information. So leave a comment, let me know where you're at, let me know what kind of information you'd love for me to talk about. I'll make a video specifically for those topics, and if I can, for your state specifically, but I will for sure put this information in a newsletter.